Ladies and gentlemen, YouTubers, this is the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, where we're going giving you AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash 2021. We're going giving you the results from both nights of Part 1 and Part 2. The shows that took place from January 6th and January 7th. January 6th was a live show, while January 7th was a pre-recorded show taped that air on the 13th of January of 2021. So yeah, um, what was draw first was it's going to be the night one of edition of New Year's Smash. I meant to say that's New Japan. This is AEW actually. So yeah, AEW's New Year's Smash on Dynamite TNT for part one. Now, when it comes to this, I'm not going to be on camera that much. So what I'm going to do is get myself on camera right now so that we can start off by doing AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash 2021, starting with part one on January 6th, 2021, with the attendance of 770,000. I mean, 700 excuse me, 770 AEW fans in attendance at Day's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, under the promotion of All Elite Wrestling. Your commentators for the first event was Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and Chris Jericho. So let's get right into it. And when it comes to giving you this review, I'm just going to talk about the matches. I'm not going to talk about the segments. Well, this is just about the wrestling, and no more, no less. So here we go. The opening match that featured the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, teaming up with uh, so SoCal Uncensored, which is SCU of Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian, taking on the acclaimed Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, teaming up with the Hybrid 2, and Henneko and Jack Evans, an 8-man tag team match that lasted 9 minutes and 59 seconds. Basically, a 10-minute match, which it was a very good opening match, a very good fun opener here of this event, where every spot that happened in the spot that took place here was very good. There was a spot where Nick Jackson did have an injury, a scare injury, I should say, or it tends to what happened in the match against and Jack Evans. Where Jack Evans, I think he did the 450 splash, but Nick Jackson had his knees up and his knee had a scare there where he thought he got hurt, but that wasn't the case at all. So in a way he was fine either way, but uh, uh you know this would have been a bad situation because he's one half of the tag team champions with his brother Matt Jackson of AEW, and the last thing we need is a Nick Jackson being injured here. Otherwise, they'll have no choice but to relinquish the titles if that was going to be the case. But thank God it wasn't. Nick Jackson's okay. He's all right. So all's good. In the end, it was the Young Bucks and SCU won over on the Acclaim and TH2. Then we get to Warlow versus Jake Hager. Two of the inner circles being accompanied by uh, Sammy Guevara, Santana Ortiz, and MJF, while Chris Jericho's on commentary. Match lasted 10 minutes and 17 seconds. This match was basically, pertains to two members of the inner circle need to blow up this steam, to get it out of the system. And boy, did they do that. Warlow look at the star here. Jake Hager up, you know, do all he can to pull over Warlow in this match, and he did. So in the end, it was Warlow getting the win on Jake Hager. After the match, the inner circle, they hashed out the differences, pertains to Warlow and Jake Hager, and all is good of the inner circle. Then we get to Cody Rhodes being accompanied by Snoop Dogg, taking on Matt Sydal. Match lasted 10 minutes and 13 seconds. And I mean, match lasted 10 minutes and 3 seconds, excuse me. I don't know why I got 13 seconds from. Match itself was pretty good between Clay Rose and um Matt Sydal. Clay Rose theme song now mixed with his theme song Kingdom to Snoop Dogg rapping. I don't like it. I'm just gonna say right now. I thought it was gonna be a one time thing, but that wasn't the case at all. And we're changing Snoop Dogg being there. The reason why Snoop Dogg was there was because he's helping promoting on AEW Dynamite on his special event of New Year's Smash is because of the Go Big Show. This reality game show that Clay Wilson and Snoop Dogg was a part of, and that's why he was there. It's not because he found interest in AEW, even though he's a AEW Forces fan either way, not just for WWE. But Snoop Dogg was there, was there for just that reason. Um, but but Clay Wilson and Matt Sydal had a good match. At one point, Clay Rose accidentally hit Serpentico at ringside when he tried to go for at Matt Sydal outside the ring because that came to play. It came to play later on after the match because Kurt Rose ends up winning against Matt Sydal, and then also he gets Serpentico and Dr. Luther coming into the ring and beating up on Kurt Rose and on Matt Sydal for a little bit on Matt Sydal, I should say. Matt Sydal comes to the aid of Kurt Rose after that. They took care of the heels, whereas Matt Sydal was going to take care of Serpentico, but then Snoop Dogg said he wanted to do it, and y'all already know what that was all about. With Snoop Dogg did the Snoop Dogg frog splash, with his ass up in the air and everything, and the way with his landing and all that. Yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, that was that match. Then we get to Hikaru Shida defending her AEW Women's World Championship in 8 minutes and 27 seconds against Abaddon. Abaddon looked decent. This match basically was about Abaddon biting on Shida on her leg and on her neck since well, we didn't see how bad it was under the ring. But either way, that's what it was on in a way, I don't know what they wanted to capitalize on that. More chance to Shida getting bitten. Because nothing really happened to Shida with her being bitten. Because in the end, she ends up beating Abaddon and be still retain her title. So yeah, not much to say about that. Then we get to the main event for the AEW World Championship. That's 15 minutes and 3 seconds between the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega being accompanied by Don Callis taking on Ray Phoenix. And this match was great. This was the best match on night one, and everything that they did in this match was spot to spot. Counter after counter, move after move. Just a all out clean. All these two, it really set the standard on that main event on that night. And in the end, it was Kenny Omega gained the win over Ray Phoenix, still the AEW World Champion. After the match, then you had John Moxley attacking Kenny Omega, which led to the debut and invasion from Impact Wrestling, the Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, and the Big LG, Doc Gallows. And all help broke loose when the AEW Dark Wrestlers tried to get into the help, but they all were taken out. And then Young Bucks came out, and they tried to calm things down, but in the end, um, things ends up being calmed down. But when it pertains to the Young Bucks helping out, Kenny Omega after being held back by the Varsity Blondes, which is Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, only for Griff Garrison to get a super kick from Matt Jackson, and for um, Brian Pillman Jr. getting hit with a belt by Doc Gallows, and then Moxley laying down on the ground, in the ring, I should say, battered and beaten, while Kenny Omega turns up the Too Sweet sign along with Doc and Carl, and then Matt and Nick did the exact same thing, and that's how the show closed and ended with New Year's Smash. Um, you know, just the way it was done, it was very monumental. It was a moment there, and it was just amazing. Um, my overall strength for the show on that night was a 9 out of 10 because that night itself was great. Everything that happened with the main event with you know the Goodbirds coming to AEW. Minus the Snoop Dogg thing. But the Warlow and Jake Hager, the big man matches, the one big man match was great. Um, the opener was a fun match. Abaddon and Cheetah was to me was one of my least favorites of the match, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. And there are other things happening on the show too, but I was just focusing more on the wrestling on the show than I was of anything else. Um, so for that being said, it just definitely deserved a 9 out of 10, and that was night one of it, part one of New Year's Smash on AEW Dynamite on TNT. Then we get to the second night, and I'm assuming it's the same, attendance of 770,000. I mean 770 AEW fans in attendance, I should say. Um, same place, same city, same venue in LA. The commentators feature Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, no Chris Jericho, because he was in a segment with Sucker since the New Year's resolution. But I'm not gonna cover that. And by the way, if you want to hear those type of coverage of me talking about the segments itself, or things to happen on night one and night two, watch my previous reviews of All Elite Wrestling reviews, where things to giving you dark and dynamite results. So um, but also pertains to the commentators, you had Taz, you know, commentary on the main event between Brian Cage and Darby Allin for the TNT Championship title, which we'll get to when we get to it. So the opening match was Pac being accompanied by the Lucha Bros, Penta El Zero Miedo and Rey Phoenix versus Eddie Kingston, being played by the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. The match between Pac and Eddie Kingston lasted 9 minutes and 31 seconds, and this match was a good opener match here. Where it tends to Eddie Kingston having one of his best matches. Um, by starting in the ring with Pac. He got some outside interference and involvements and distractions, but in the end, it was Pac getting the win on Eddie Kingston. After the match, he started adding insult to injuries to Eddie Kingston. Also, get a standoff with the Death Triangle with the Butcher and the Blade, while Eddie Kingston still trying to recuperate. But also Lance Archer comes out, but to chase away the heels and basically they send up something with Pac and Lance Archer in the future later, maybe for a beach break, we'll see, or maybe for a revolution, but we'll see. Then we get to Miro being accompanied by Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, taking on Chuck Taylor being accompanied by Orange Cassidy. A singles match between Miro and Chuck Taylor, where if Chuck Taylor loses, then he will become Miro's butler until we get to the wedding between Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford at Beach Break. Match lasted 3 minutes and 32 seconds, where Chuck Taylor got the upper hand of the beginning of the match because Miro had his eyes, um, you know, on the hard camera and everything, and Chuck Taylor did what he can, which is to someone who's got a bigger physique than him, and he said the jumps on him before he get to him. Um, in the end, I also got some outside involvements too, you know, from Kip Sabian and Orange Cassidy before. But in the end, it was Miro getting the squash, half of the squash victory over Chuck Taylor. So yes, Chuck Taylor loses, which means he's going to be Miro's butler. And match itself, uh, it would have been a competitive match here. And I get, oh, well, probably for hold on a second, let me do something here. There we go, that's better. Yeah, I had the avatar that's in that one. But I changed the rate. It's now on night two. So yeah, like I was saying, I wish I could see a competitive match between Miro and Chuck Taylor. And I guess some people were going to say, Miro should be having a squash match by by beating Chuck Taylor under 3 minutes. Because Chuck Taylor, he doesn't got the best physique, and I get it. Um, but he's still a good wrestler, and I want to see what he can do or chance to do something like a Miro, especially you know Chuck Taylor's of his time in Japan Pro Wrestling. He was pretty good in Japan Pro Wrestling as well. He showed a lot of what he can do in Japan Pro Wrestling. Um, but I wish we could have saw something here pertains to that whole thing. Like we saw what pertains to him and Trent. Which by the way, I wish Trent a speedy recovery for the next 5 months. I guess I think that's that's how much he'll be out, which is unfortunate. Um, but yeah, but what I was gonna say is based on what we saw with Chuck Taylor and Trent against Proud and Powerful from that parking lot brawl they had some months ago, you know I expected you know a little something for chance to Chuck Taylor measure up against a Miro, but they didn't do that. Instead do their booking weights, and I didn't think it was and I don't think it sit well with people. But either ways, basically yeah, we're getting Miro having Chuck Taylor as his butler, and we have to see how that goes. Um, and Chuck Taylor, what chance to how he looks too, he looks like he could be a butler too. Just like didn't get to the elite, the elite sort of Kenny Omega, where it was supposed to be the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, but Don Callis, who was there as well. That's how about we got through your different entrances and everything. Um, so Kenny Omega came out first, did his entrance, and then that's when Don Callis did the introduction for the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson to come out instead. So basically, it wasn't really elite. It was just Bullet Club of Kenny Omega, the Big LG, Doc Gallows, and Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. And the Young Bucks were not happy about that. They even showed Tony Khan on there too, or just to the reactions from behind the scene from the gorilla position. But they go up against Danny Limelight and the Varsity Blondes, which is Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. A six-man tag team match lasted 9 minutes and 21 seconds. Match itself was a fun, entertaining, good match. And Danny Limelight, you know, he was pretty good in this match here, which obviously is no surprise there because Danny Limelight he's always been good. And for the times for the time I've seen him, returns to him competing for AEW on Dark, and also returns to him competing in New Japan Pro Wrestling, even though it's not in Japan, because the New Japan Pro Wrestling that they do in which is New Japan Strong Style, is somewhere in California. Can't remember if it's in California or not, but that's what I've been told. But either way, but yeah, in my life he's pretty good. Um, yeah, but this match was good overall either way. In the end, it was Bullet Club winning the match, and also we get John Moxley coming out there to go after the Bullet Club, and then the Lucha Bros came out for this to even the odds, and then the Young Bucks came out to try to calm things down, and then they ended up getting super kicked by the Lucha Bros, and then basically entire chaos. We got entire chaos here. Referees coming out, Shakiri's coming out, AW Dark Wrestlers coming out to to try to pull apart all this commotions, all this chaos going on. That's basically wreaking havoc, and that was it. And I'm gonna say about that. So then we get to FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood being played by Tully Blanchard versus the Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt, who stunted his growth. Tag team match lasted 12 minutes and 16 seconds. This was the night that Jungle Boy debuted his theme song, um, Tarzan Boy by Baltimore. And yeah, and this was a little I don't know I want to bring up from there. But as, besides that, we have this match ends up being pretty good, a pretty good tag team match. But even to the credit where Jason Marco's done, I'll give him a little credit there, despite the two botched kicks that he missed. But either way, Um, not bad performance from Marcus Dunn, but the right was the right call here for FTR to go over, and and the one who was in the pinfall, which was the right call too, was Marcus Dunn, which rather remind people that he's done his growth. Just saying. Then we get to Serena Deeb defending her AEW Women World Championship. And I'm missing 28 seconds against Ty Conte being hit by Anna Jay. And the match itself was pretty good. In fact, this match was was more um a match to get behind more than the match with Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb. I mean Hikaru Shida and Abaddon to say, excuse me. Um, and that's not saying much either. Ty Conti's first ever title shot in pro wrestling, of my knowledge. Fuck you, WWE, for that. Didn't want to give her a chance. Um, but yeah, Ty Conti, yeah. Um, what it to this, I think she was a little nervous. She still had the butterflies and all that. She looked like she was a little green, but she still held her own this match. Didn't look that bad. She's got a long way to go. She's still very young, in her early 20s and everything. So um, so we'll see uh if she gets more of a title shot in the future for AEW returns to maybe eventually she could go after the AEW Women's World Championship too as well. Um, but yeah, and we'll just see how far she go from there. In the end, obviously, it was Trinity winning, and not much to say about that. Then we get to the main event. It will be for the AEW TNT Championship, a long feud, build-up rivalry between the AEW TNT Champion Darby Allin versus the FTW World Champion Brian Cage, who is being accompanied by Ricky Starks and Hook. Hook is the son of Taz. Taz was on commentary for this match. Powerhouse Hobbs was banned from ringside. They didn't want to have too many Team Taz at ringside. So um, two was basically two was the limit. So this match was incredible. This match was all out brawl between Darby Allin and Brian Cage, and also dominant faction of Brian Cage as well. He was just destroying Darby Allin, and it did lead to it basically you had table spots, you had steel step spots and all that. You had or basically just Brian Cage just murdering Darby Allin in this match. But Darby Allin kept on going. He kept on bringing a lot of heart in this match, and he did. Um, at one point, Ricky Starks got involved, which led to the appearance of the icon, the Winter, Sting. So Sting came out with a baseball bat and just levels Ricky Starks with the bat, which back to the match here. So Darby Allin got an upset victory over Brian Cage off the top rope, and pinned him and got the win. Not with the not with the coffee drop though. But um but yeah, Darby Allin got the upset victory over Brian Cage. And that was the end of the show. Team Taz retreats. Sting and Darby Allin stand tall in the ring, and that's how the second night for New Year's Smash ended on the AEW Dynamite on TNT. So yeah, what pertains to which nights were better, I said before, so I'll say here as well. Pertains to night one and night two. I thought night one was better. Some would give on night two an 8.5 out of 10. Still a good show. I still love the show, but it didn't compare to the second night. I mean to the first night. I meant to say. Second night again was good, but the first night was great. So there you go. And now what I'm about to do now, folks, is I'm gonna go through my highlights of the night. Where it tends to combine both of them. For one, you know, or basically combine both of the highlights of the night on the Rome roof, basically. So, and this is how I'm gonna do it too. Okay, just give me one moment, folks. I'll be right back. I'm just kidding. But that's what it looks like though. Don't you people think? For just my face there, up in the sky, for just the whole Mufasa showing up, you know, just like. Anyways, so my highs of the nights, you know, combining them both under one roof pertains to something. So here we go. So for the night, the Good Brothers showing up to AEW on night one. Shocking the night, the Good Brothers. I mean, yeah, actually, yeah, folks, I apologize. I got that mixed up. Swerve in the Night goes to the Good Brothers on night two, which is to Don Callis and Austin Dunn as King Omega's tag team partners. And Shock of the Night is night one for the Good Brothers of showing up at AEW. So there you go. Moment of the Night, The Too Sweet by Bullet Club. You know, the Young Bucks, King Omega, the Good Brothers from night one. Promo of the night, John Moxley from night one, where it tends to kind of promo towards Kenny Omega because of the tainted victory that he got back in Winter is Coming on that show. With Sting debut. 50, I mean, victory. Video promo of the night, I meant to say. Darby Allin versus Brian Cage from night two. Segment of the night. Yeah, this is a new thing I'm adding right now. Segment of the night, the Inner Circle from night two. I will go for the waiting room, but nah, the waiting room. It was just too much commotion, too much chaos, and everything. And Clay Rose brought nothing to the table from there. So I gotta go with Inner Circle this one. Which is the New Year's resolution, especially with Sammy Guevara being the highlight of the other one when he coached Chris Jericho the tag team slut. Performance of the night, Phoenix from night one. Move of the night, Darby Allin's Code Red on Brian Cage from night two. Finish of the night, Pax Black Arrow onto Eddie Kingston to end the match this week. So yeah, finish of the night. That's what it goes to. Brutal match of the night, the TNT Championship title between Brian Cage and Darby Allin from night one. Show still tonight, the AEW World Championship title between Kenny Omega and Rey Fenix on night one. And match tonight goes to Pac and Eddie Kingston from night two. Now the combined also of my overall showing for AEW New Year's Smash on TNT for AEW Dynamite. I'm gonna give the show a 9.5 out of 10. And there you go, folks. That'll wrap up for your All Elite Wrestling review, which is to AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash 2021. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. I'm gonna just end it from here, folks. Not gonna do any plugs. So, but I will say, you all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself and everything that's going on in the world. Wear your mask, wear your gloves, love one another, God bless one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. So, I am out here. Ta-ta for now. Peace on the streets. Take care, for it's natural born thriller.